Have you ever wondered where genius really comes from? Today, we're diving into this hidden source of creativity. We're going to uncover how some of history's biggest breakthroughs weren't born in a lab or a studio, but in the mysterious world of dreams. Let's get into it.
So let me start by asking you a question. Just think about it for a second. A light bulb, one of the most famous surrealist paintings ever, and a discovery that completely changed chemistry. What on earth could possibly connect these three things? The answer, I promise you, is probably not what you're thinking.
You see, the connection isn't a thing at all. It's a place, a state of mind. It's that weird, creative, kind of magical moment right as you're drifting off to sleep. You know, that space where logic just disappears and your imagination is free to run wild. And that's exactly where our stories begin.
And our first stop is a real treat. We're bringing together two absolute giants from totally different worlds. And as you're about to see, they somehow shared the exact same secret for unlocking their genius.
First up, the master inventor himself, Thomas Edison. Now this guy didn't just wait for inspiration to strike, oh no. He actually engineered it with this incredibly clever technique. He'd sit in his chair holding a heavy steel ball in his hand. As he'd start to doze off, his muscles would relax, his hand would open, and clang! The ball would hit the floor and jolt him awake, right at that perfect moment to capture those brilliant fleeting ideas from the edge of sleep.
Now, here's where things get really interesting. Edison wasn't the only one doing this. Get this, decades later, the iconic surrealist painter Salvador Dali described a process that was almost identical. He famously said he would sleep just to, quote, catch the moment the spoon falls. I mean, just look at this parallel. It's incredible. On one side, you've got science. On the other, you've got art. One guy used a steel ball to come up with inventive solutions. The other used a spoon to capture his bizarre, surreal visions. Their goals couldn't be more different, but the method, it was exactly the same. They were both hacking into that same creative pre-sleep state. What an amazing coincidence, right? It just goes to show you the universal power of this technique.
Okay, so that story was wild, but our next one might be the most dramatic example of them all. This is a story where a single powerful dream didn't just offer a clue, it literally handed over the entire solution to a problem that had stumped the scientific community. So picture this. The year is 1865. A chemist named Friedrich Kekule is wrestling with this huge puzzle. What is the structure of the benzene molecule? He knew all the pieces, 6 carbon atoms, 6 hydrogen atoms, but he just could not figure out how they fit together. None of the logical models made any sense, and honestly, the entire field of organic chemistry was basically at a standstill because of it. And then one evening, he's dozing by the fire, and he has this vision. He dreams of atoms just dancing and twisting around like snakes. And then suddenly one of those snakes grabs its own tail, forming a perfect closed loop that just whirled in front of his eyes. Now this image of a snake eating its tail wasn't just some random weird thing his brain cooked up, it's actually a powerful ancient symbol known as the Ouroboros. It's been used for centuries to represent things like eternity, cycles, and unity. So his subconscious mind didn't just give him the answer, it wrapped it up in this deep, universal symbol.
Kekule woke up with a jolt, and bam! The dream was the answer. Benzene wasn't a straight line of atoms at all, it was a ring. And this single dream-fueled insight wasn't just a small breakthrough. It completely unlocked a new way of understanding molecules and absolutely revolutionized the entire field of organic chemistry. A total game changer, all thanks to a dream about a snake.
So we've seen these incredible stories from both science and art, but what's really going on in our brains to make all this happen? Let's dig into the science behind that creative spark.
Is this all just some kind of magic? You know, a lucky coincidence? Or is there a real biological process happening here? Well, as you've probably guessed by now, it's all neuroscience.
The scientific name for this super creative state is hypnagogia. It's specifically that transitional phase, that limbo between being fully awake and fully asleep. The best way to think about it is like a mental playground where the normal rules just don't apply, and your brain is free to make all sorts of crazy connections it would never think of during the day.
So how does this actually work? Well, during hypnagogia, the part of your brain that's normally in charge, the strict librarian that keeps everything organized, your prefrontal cortex, it kind of goes on a coffee break. And when the boss is away, all your stored memories and ideas can come out and play. They start mixing together freely, and your brain starts to form these really unusual connections that your logical waking mind would just immediately dismiss as nonsense. And that's how a dream about a snake can suddenly become the key to a major chemical puzzle.
Okay, so we've covered the amazing stories, we've looked at the science behind it. Now for the most exciting part. The part where I tell you how you can actually learn to do this for yourself.
This 3-step blueprint is basically your guide. First step, set an intention. Before you go to sleep, really focus your mind. Write down a problem you're stuck on or a topic you want some new insight into. Step 2, and this part is absolutely critical. The second you wake up, grab a notebook and write down anything you remember. Even if it's just a strange image, a feeling, or a single word. Don't judge it, just get it down. And finally, after a week or two of doing this, go back and look at your notes. You might be surprised to find a recurring symbol or a hidden pattern. Your very own Ouroboros.
When you think about it, from Edison's workshop to Dali's canvas and Kekule's lab, the creative power of that space between worlds is just undeniable. It proves that sometimes the most groundbreaking thinking happens when we stop trying to think so hard. Your next great idea really could be just one dream away. The only question left is, are you ready to listen?
Mm-hmm.